Hey everyone, welcome back to Love English Lab. I'm David, and today I'm here with Charlotte to talk about something almost every English learner experiences: feeling shy when speaking.
Hi, everyone. Yes, this is such an important topic. So many people know the grammar, the words, and even how to build sentences, but when it's time to speak, they freeze.
Exactly. And it's not because they can't speak, it's because they feel nervous, worried, or afraid of being judged.
Right. I've seen that with many students. They're smart and prepared, but they hesitate because they think, what if I say something wrong?
Yes, that's such a common thought. But here's the truth: everyone feels shy sometimes, even native speakers.
That's so true. I remember when I first had to speak in front of a big group in another language. My hands were shaking, my heart was racing, and I kept thinking, what if I forget the words?
I felt the same way. It's completely normal. Being shy doesn't mean you're not good at English, it just means you care about how you communicate.
Exactly. And that's actually something positive. It shows that you want to connect with people in a meaningful way.
Yes. So, in this episode, we'll help you understand where that shyness comes from and how to slowly overcome it.
We're going to share 5 practical tips that really work, things you can do every day to feel calmer, more confident, and more natural when speaking English.
Because the goal isn't to become a different person, it's to feel comfortable being yourself while speaking another language.
That's such an important point. You don't need to speak perfectly, you just need to speak with confidence and kindness toward yourself.
Yes, confidence doesn't come from knowing every word, it comes from practice, patience, and small victories.
Exactly. And if you're listening right now thinking, that sounds impossible for me, please don't worry. You can absolutely do this.
You can. Everyone starts somewhere. The shyest person today can become the most confident speaker in the future if they keep practicing and stop being so hard on themselves.
That's right. We're going to help you change the way you see speaking, not as something scary, but as an opportunity to grow and connect.
So, whether you're nervous about speaking in class, at work, or even just with friends, this episode will give you simple tools to start feeling braver.
Yes, because your voice matters. You deserve to be heard.
Exactly. All right, let's get started with our first tip: learning to accept that mistakes are completely normal and part of the process.
Perfect. Let's jump in. So, our first tip is to accept that mistakes are completely normal.
Yes, and I think this one is the foundation of everything. Many people feel shy because they're afraid of making mistakes. They think mistakes mean failure, but in reality, mistakes mean learning.
Exactly. Every person who learns a language makes mistakes. Everyone. Even native speakers make them.
Absolutely. I make small grammar mistakes all the time when I speak quickly, and that's in my own language. So imagine how normal it is when you're learning a second one.
That's so true. But for some reason, learners often believe they have to speak perfectly before they can speak at all. And that belief creates pressure.
Right? It's like waiting to swim until you already know how to swim. You can't learn without getting in the water first.
That's such a great image. You have to get in the water even if you splash around a little.
Yes, exactly. Because that's how you learn. Every mistake you make helps your brain adjust and improve.
I remember one student who was always afraid to talk because she worried her accent wasn't good enough. She would stay quiet during class, even though she understood everything.
Oh, yes, I've seen that too. What happened with her?
Well, one day she decided to just try. She spoke slowly, made a few mistakes, but she realized something amazing. People understood her anyway. And instead of laughing or judging, everyone encouraged her.
That's such a great example. When we speak, people usually focus on what we're saying, not on the little mistakes we make.
Exactly. Most people appreciate the effort. They're not counting your grammar errors. They're listening to your ideas, your story, your message.
Yes, and I think that's what learners need to remember. Communication is about connection, not perfection.
I love that. Connection, not perfection. Because real communication isn't about speaking flawlessly, it's about being understood and expressing yourself honestly.
Exactly. And when you make mistakes, you show courage. You're showing that you're learning, that you're trying, that you're growing.
Yes. I always say mistakes are like steps on a staircase. You need them to reach the next level.
That's a great way to put it. You can't skip them, you climb through them.
Right. So instead of being afraid of mistakes, celebrate them. Each one means you're getting stronger.
And here's something really helpful. When you make a mistake, don't stop and get upset. Just smile, correct yourself if you can, and keep going.
Yes, because if you stop every time you make a mistake, your confidence goes down. But if you keep going, you train your brain to stay calm and relaxed while speaking.
Exactly. And that calmness helps you speak better next time. It's a cycle. The more relaxed you are, the more natural your speech becomes.
That's so true. Another thing that helps is to remember that mistakes are opportunities. Each one shows you what to improve.
Yes, it's like your brain saying, hey, here's something new to learn. It's feedback, not failure.
I love that perspective. And I think if learners can change the way they see mistakes, they'll start feeling much braver.
Definitely. Because the truth is, confidence doesn't come from speaking perfectly, it comes from speaking even when it's not perfect.
Yes, exactly. It's about courage, not perfection.
And the more you speak, the more natural it becomes. What once felt scary starts feeling normal.
Yes. I remember when I was learning Spanish. At first, I was terrified to talk. But every time I tried, I learned something. A new word, a new sound, a new rhythm.
And over time, that practice builds confidence. You stop worrying about what people might think and start focusing on what you want to say.
Exactly. So if you're listening to this right now and you're afraid of speaking because you don't want to make mistakes, remember, mistakes are part of the path, not the end of it.
Yes, every confident speaker you admire once made hundreds of mistakes too. The difference is they didn't stop trying.
That's right. So from now on, when you speak and make a mistake, take it as a sign that you're growing, not failing.
Perfectly said. Because every mistake brings you one step closer to fluency.
Exactly. So take a deep breath, smile, and speak anyway. You'll surprise yourself with how much you already know.
I love that. All right, that's our first tip. In the next chapter, we'll talk about how to practice speaking little by little and how to build confidence step by step.
Yes, it's going to be super helpful. Let's get into it.
So, now that we've talked about accepting mistakes, let's move on to our next step practicing speaking little by little.
Yes, this one is all about taking small steps. You don't have to suddenly become super confident overnight. Confidence grows slowly, just like any other skill.
Exactly. I think a lot of learners expect to feel ready before they start speaking, but the truth is, you get ready by speaking.
Yes, confidence doesn't appear first, it comes after you try, even when you feel nervous.
That's right. So, the key is to make speaking part of your routine, even in small ways. For example, start by talking to yourself.
Yes, that's one of my favorite tips. When you speak to yourself, there's no pressure. You can describe what you're doing, say your thoughts out loud, or even repeat new words you've learned.
Exactly. You could say things like, I'm cooking dinner, or I'm going to work now. Those simple sentences help your brain think in English.
And the great thing is, the more you do it, the more natural it feels. After a while, English starts to become part of your daily thoughts.
Yes, and that's what builds fluency, those small moments of practice that happen throughout your day.
Another great way to practice little by little is to record yourself speaking. I know it might feel strange at first, but it's a great way to track your progress.
I agree. You can record short messages, maybe describe your day for 1 minute. Then listen to it later and notice what sounds good and what you'd like to improve.
Yes, and don't judge yourself harshly. Just listen like a coach, calmly and kindly.
That's so important. Be your own supporter, not your critic. Every recording is proof that you're trying, and that's something to celebrate.
Definitely. And if you want to practice with real people, you can start small too. Maybe talk to a friend who's also learning English or join a small online conversation group.
That's a great idea, and it doesn't even have to be a full conversation. You can just start by saying a few sentences like introducing yourself or asking simple questions.
Yes, exactly. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to get used to speaking out loud.
Right. And here's something I always tell my students: speak even when you don't feel ready. If you wait until you're completely confident, you'll wait forever.
That's so true. You can start small today. Even 1 minute of speaking a day can make a huge difference after a few weeks.
Exactly. Consistency is more important than length. 1 minute every day is better than 1 hour once a month.
Yes, because speaking is a muscle. You have to use it regularly to make it stronger.
I love that comparison. Just like exercise, you don't lift heavy weights on your first day. You start light and you build strength over time.
Exactly. And the same goes for speaking confidence. Every time you speak, you're training your voice, your mind, and your courage.
That's right. And don't worry if your voice shakes a little at first, that's normal. It means you're stretching your comfort zone, and that's where growth happens.
I love that you said that. Stretching your comfort zone. It's not about jumping out of it completely. It's about gently expanding it day by day.
Exactly. So start with something small today. Maybe read out loud for 5 minutes, record a short message, or describe your morning routine in English.
And then celebrate that small step, because it is progress. Every word you speak out loud builds confidence.
Yes, and remember, your voice matters. Even when you speak to yourself, you're training it to sound stronger and clearer.
Absolutely. And one more tip, don't forget to smile while you speak. It might sound simple, but smiling relaxes your muscles and helps your voice sound more natural and friendly.
That's a great one. Smiling also tricks your brain into feeling calmer, so your words come out more easily.
Exactly. So, to summarize this tip, start small, be kind to yourself, and make speaking a daily habit.
Yes, practice doesn't have to be perfect or long, it just has to be consistent.
And soon you'll notice that speaking feels less like a challenge and more like a part of your normal life.
That's the goal, making English feel natural, not stressful.
Exactly. And in the next chapter, we'll go even deeper and talk about changing the way you think, because confidence starts in your mind first.
Oh, I can't wait for that one. Let's get into it.
So far, we've talked about accepting mistakes and practicing little by little. Now it's time to look at something deeper, your mindset.
Yes, because the way you think about speaking has a huge impact on how you feel when you speak.
Exactly. Many people feel shy, not because they don't know enough English, but because of what they believe about themselves when they speak.
Right? It's not about knowledge, it's about self perception. Some people think, I'm not good at speaking, or people won't understand me, and those thoughts create fear before they even say a word.
Yes. And what's interesting is that those thoughts are not facts, they're just habits of thinking.
That's such an important point. Our brains love to protect us from uncomfortable situations, so they try to avoid anything that feels risky, like speaking in a new language.
Exactly. Your mind says, don't speak, you might feel embarrassed. But in reality, speaking is how you grow.
Right. So the challenge isn't just learning English, it's teaching your brain that it's safe to speak.
I love that. You can start by changing your inner dialogue. Instead of thinking, I'm not ready, try saying, I'm learning and every word helps me improve.
Yes, replace fear based thoughts with growth based thoughts. It's not, I can't do this, it's, I'm learning how to do this.
Exactly. That small change in thinking makes a big difference. It turns speaking from something scary into something possible.
And the more you speak with that mindset, the stronger it becomes. It's like building a mental muscle, one thought at a time.
That's such a good comparison. It takes repetition, just like learning vocabulary. The more positive you are, the easier it gets to stay calm when speaking.
Yes. And another important thing is to stop judging yourself while you speak. Many people analyze every word they say, and that blocks the flow.
Oh, that's so true. They speak and immediately think, was that correct? Or did I sound strange? But that kind of thinking makes your brain freeze.
Exactly. Instead, focus on what you're trying to communicate, not how perfect it sounds.
Yes, because the goal of speaking is not perfection, it's connection.
I love that. When you stop overthinking and start focusing on sharing your ideas, everything feels lighter.
Definitely. And here's something that really helps before you speak: take a deep breath and remind yourself, it's okay to be me.
Yes, I love that because confidence doesn't come from trying to sound like someone else, it comes from being comfortable with your own voice.
Exactly. And that's why self-kindness is so powerful. The way you speak to yourself matters as much as the way you speak to others.
Yes, if you keep saying negative things to yourself, you'll start to believe them. But if you speak to yourself kindly, you'll build a strong inner confidence. And
That's true. For example, say things like, I'm improving every day, or it's okay to make mistakes, I'm learning.
those small affirmations might sound simple, but they train your mind to see progress instead of fear.
Exactly. And when your mind feels safe, your words come out more naturally.
I've noticed that with many learners. Once they stop worrying about how they sound, their speech becomes smoother without any extra effort.
Yes, it's amazing how much better people speak when they feel relaxed. Confidence really changes everything.
And the best part is, anyone can develop it. It's not a talent, it's a mindset you can build.
Yes, and it starts with how you think. If you change your thoughts, your words will follow.
Exactly. So here's a small exercise for everyone listening. Next time you start feeling nervous, pause and ask yourself, what am I thinking right now?
That's great. And if it's a negative thought like, I'll mess up, try replacing it with, I'll do my best and that's enough.
Perfect. It's not about denying fear, it's about responding to it with kindness.
Yes, because bravery isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward even when you feel it.
Beautifully said. That's exactly what speaking a new language is, an act of courage.
Yes, every time you open your mouth and try, you're showing bravery.
And the more you practice that bravery, the easier it becomes.
Exactly. So, if you change the way you think, you change the way you speak, and that's how confidence grows.
I love that. All right, in our next chapter, we'll talk about something that helps even more, focusing on connection instead of perfection.
Yes, this one is one of my favorites. Let's go there next. So, let's talk about one of my favorite parts: focusing on connection, not perfection.
Yes, this is such a powerful shift. When people try to speak a new language, they often focus too much on grammar, pronunciation, or saying everything perfectly.
Right? And while it's good to care about accuracy, perfection shouldn't be the goal. Communication should.
Exactly. You're not taking an exam every time you talk to someone. You're having a conversation. You're sharing ideas, emotions, and experiences.
Yes, and that's what language is for: connecting with people. It's not about getting every sentence right, it's about being understood and expressing yourself honestly.
I completely agree. And when you focus too much on perfection, you put pressure on yourself and lose the natural flow of the conversation.
That's true. I've seen learners who know all the grammar rules, but they're so nervous about speaking perfectly that they end up saying nothing at all.
Yes, that happens often. But when you focus on connection instead, everything changes. You listen more, you smile more, and you start enjoying the conversation.
Exactly. People can feel that energy. When you care about connecting, not performing, the conversation becomes real and warm.
And honestly, most native speakers don't even notice small mistakes. They're focused on what you're saying, not how you say it.
That's so true. I've talked with many learners whose grammar wasn't perfect, but their stories, their personality, and their kindness made the conversation wonderful.
Yes, people remember how you make them feel, not how many grammar rules you use correctly.
I love that. It's so true. And sometimes even native speakers pause, forget a word, or say things in an unusual way.
Yes, all the time. We just keep talking. And that's exactly what language learners should do. Keep the flow going.
Exactly. You can always use simple words or describe something another way if you forget a specific term. That's what real communication looks like.
Right? For example, if you forget the word umbrella, you could say the thing that protects you from the rain. People will understand immediately.
Yes. And doing that actually helps you become more fluent because you're learning to explain ideas naturally instead of freezing.
I love that. And when you do that, people see your effort and they usually respond with kindness and patience.
Absolutely. Most people appreciate when someone tries to speak their language. It shows respect and courage.
Yes, and it also creates a positive exchange. You're showing curiosity, and that invites people to connect with you.
Exactly. Speaking isn't just about language, it's about human connection.
Right? So the next time you talk to someone, focus less on did I say that perfectly and more on did I connect with this person?
That's such a beautiful way to think about it. You can connect through a smile, eye contact, tone of voice, or simply showing interest.
Yes. You can say something simple like, that's interesting, or I understand what you mean. Those small phrases keep the conversation flowing naturally.
Exactly. And when you listen actively and respond with emotion, you show that you're really present. And that's what people value most.
Right? You don't need big, complex words to sound fluent. What makes you fluent is being able to express real thoughts and feelings naturally.
That's true. Some of the most confident speakers use very simple vocabulary, but they use it with warmth and confidence.
Yes, they communicate with clarity and heart, and that's what makes them memorable.
So, if you're learning English and you feel shy, remember this. People don't need you to be perfect. They just need you to be real.
Exactly. Focus on understanding and being understood. Everything else, pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, will improve with time.
I love that. And when you make a connection, it gives you motivation to keep learning.
Yes, because you feel the reward. That moment when someone smiles and says, I understand you.
That moment is magic. It's the real reason we learn languages, to connect with others, to share ideas, to make friends, to build bridges.
Beautifully said, Charlotte. So, next time you speak, take a deep breath, smile, and remember it's not a test, it's a conversation.
Yes, let your focus move from perfection to connection, and you'll see how much more confident and relaxed you feel.
Perfect. And in our final chapter, we'll share how to build lasting confidence through small habits and positive routines.
Yes, we're going to help you make confidence part of your daily life. Let's get into it. So now that we've talked about focusing on connection, let's move to our last tip, building confidence through habits.
Yes, because confidence isn't something you wake up with one day. It's something you build slowly and consistently through small actions.
Exactly. Just like learning vocabulary or improving pronunciation, confidence grows when you practice it every day, even for a few minutes.
That's right. And the best way to build it is by creating habits that help you feel comfortable with English in your daily life.
For example, start each morning by saying a few sentences in English, maybe about your plans for the day.
I love that. You could say something like, today I'm going to the store, or I have a meeting later. It doesn't have to be long. The goal is to get your brain warmed up in English.
Exactly. It's like stretching before you exercise. A few minutes of language stretching in the morning makes speaking easier later.
Yes. And another great habit is to listen to English while doing something else, like cooking, cleaning, or driving.
That's a good one. It trains your ear and keeps your brain connected to the language without pressure.
Right. The more you surround yourself with English, the more natural it starts to feel.
And I think reading out loud is another powerful habit. It helps with pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence.
Absolutely. When you read out loud, you get used to hearing your own voice in English, and that helps you feel more comfortable when you speak to others.
Yes, and it's a great way to practice speaking without the fear of being judged.
Exactly. It's your private space to practice freely. And the more you do it, the more natural your voice sounds.
I also like keeping an English journal. Writing a few sentences each night helps you reflect on your day and remember new words.
That's a great idea. And it's even better if you read what you wrote out loud afterward. That way, you practice both writing and speaking.
Yes. And here's something simple but effective. Use positive self-talk.
Oh, yes, I love that one. Saying things like, I'm improving or I'm getting better every day might sound small, but it makes a big difference over time.
Exactly. Those phrases reprogram your brain to focus on growth instead of fear.
And when you start believing in your progress, your confidence naturally rises.
Another good habit is setting small goals. For example, tell yourself, this week I'll start one short conversation in English, or I'll practice speaking for 5 minutes each day.
Yes, small goals feel manageable, and every time you complete one, your confidence grows a little more.
Right. It's like building blocks, every little effort adds up to something big.
Exactly. And don't forget to reward yourself. Celebrate the effort, not just the result.
That's such an important point. After you reach a small goal, do something that makes you happy, watch your favorite movie, have a nice snack, or simply tell yourself, good job.
Yes, those small celebrations remind your brain that speaking English is something positive, not stressful.
That's so true. And I think the most powerful habit of all is consistency.
Definitely. You don't have to do a lot, you just have to do a little often,
Exactly. Even 5 minutes a day makes a difference if you do it regularly.
right? It's not about speed, it's about direction. If you keep moving forward, you'll get there.
I love that. Confidence isn't a gift, it's the result of showing up every day, even when it's hard.
Yes. And the more you show up, the less shy you feel. You start to realize, hey, I can do this.
Exactly. It's a wonderful feeling when that happens. One day you speak, and suddenly it feels natural. You stop worrying, and you start enjoying it.
That's the moment you realize all your small habits have turned into confidence.
Yes. And that confidence stays with you, not just in English, but in other areas of life too.
Absolutely. Because once you've trained yourself to be brave in one area, it's easier to be brave in others.
So, to everyone listening, start small, stay consistent, and be proud of every effort you make.
Yes, your progress is real, even if it's quiet. Confidence grows in small, invisible steps until one day it shines.
Beautifully said. And in our final reflection, we'll talk about how confidence is not a personality trait. It's a skill anyone can develop.
Yes, and that includes you. Let's finish with that message.
You know, David, I think a lot of people still believe confidence is something you're born with, like some people have it and others just don't.
Yes, that's true, but in reality, confidence isn't a gift, it's a skill. It's something you build little by little, just like learning English itself.
Exactly. No one starts confident. Every speaker you admire, every teacher, actor, or fluent English speaker had to practice and grow into that confidence.
Right. It's not about personality, it's about repetition, mindset, and experience. The more you speak, the more you realize that you can.
Yes. And I think what really helps is remembering that everyone feels nervous sometimes, even experienced speakers. The difference is, confident people don't let fear stop them.
That's true. They speak through the fear, and each time they do, the fear gets a little smaller and the confidence gets a little stronger.
Exactly. Confidence doesn't appear suddenly. It grows in small, quiet moments when you try, when you practice, when you don't give up.
Yes, and sometimes you don't even notice it happening. One day, you just speak more easily and realize, wow, this doesn't scare me anymore. So,
That's such a great feeling, isn't it? When you finally realize that English is no longer a wall, but a bridge.
I love that image. A bridge that connects you to new people, new ideas, and new opportunities.
Yes, because language is connection. And every time you speak, even with small mistakes, you're building that connection.
Exactly. And that's what confidence really means, not being perfect, but being brave enough to try.
Beautifully said. Confidence is about showing up, even when you're not sure how it will go. It's about believing that your voice has value.
Yes, and it does. Every learner listening right now, your voice matters. You have something to say, and the world needs to hear it.
Absolutely. So don't wait until you feel completely ready. Speak now. Start small, stay kind to yourself, and let every word build your confidence.
Because every sentence you say brings you closer to the confident speaker you want to be.
Yes. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the person who used to be shy is now speaking freely because you did the work and you believed in yourself.
That's the truth. You don't need to be perfect to be confident, you just need to keep going.
So keep practicing, keep growing, and keep believing that you can.
Because you can. Confidence is not something you wait for, it's something you create.
Beautiful. And that's what Love English Lab is all about, helping you find your voice and love the process of learning.
Thank you for joining us today. Remember, confidence is built one word at a time.
And you're already on your way. See you in the next episode.